Story 4. This is a very long one, but it's awesome, so strap yourself in.
Buckle up, Buttercup. We're getting weird.
All right, so this was originally posted on True Off My Chest, but this is now on Best of Redditor updates. So just know this has been copy and pasted around a bit. So, Okay. I'm weirded out, but I'm also going to be vague because obvious reasons. I'm 30s female and my stylist is 40s female. I got my hair cut today at a stylist I've been using for about 9 months now. I think this is my 6th appointment with them. I usually do a trim or cut style. Today I went from long hair, high lower back to an A-line bob. Dang. Again, since I started seeing this person, I usually get current style maintenance / trim. This time was a dramatic length adjustment. They took a picture of the cut length on the floor to add to their social media, then intending to add before and after to the two. That's totally fine and normal. They go to grab a broom, sweep up the hair, and place the dustpan on the counter for a bit. Again, normal. They grab the broom and pan and head to the back of the shop. They're gone a few minutes, no biggie. Then they go out to smoke. But here's where it gets weird. The bathroom is in the back of the shop too. I need to go and step into the back. I don't really notice anything on the way into the bathroom. I go and start to head back out, but I notice my name on a small clear tote on the table. It has no lid, but it has my hair in it. At first, I didn't really think anything of it, but I look closer and see it's not just today's discarded hair, but it looks like at least a few of my trim sessions, mixed in with what looked like potpourri and a little sand or something, and printed pictures of the cut hair with dates. The printer is sitting right next to it with today's discarded hair pick in the tray. There didn't seem to be any other containers like this when I looked around. It was fucking weird. So I took a pic on my phone. I honestly didn't know what to think or do and went back out into the salon. They came back in and I mentioned that I went to the restroom and they seemed to freak out a little bit but didn't mention it. I didn't really know what to say, so I just let them finish styling my hair, paid, and left. As a socially anxious introvert, this was my nightmare. I got home, and the more I looked at this picture, the more ick I got. I ended up texting them an hour ago, sending the picture and requesting they remove the weird box of me and asking for an explanation. I said, "Hey, so I saw this and I don't know what to make of it. Can you help me understand what this is and why you have it? I'm not comfortable with you having this and request you please discard the contents. Also, even though I love my cut, I believe it's best if I find a different stylist." They haven't responded. So, we have a lot of updates.
Okay.
So, here we go. Update 1. This is December 1st, 2024. It's been about a week, and with the holiday, I've been all over the place, and I ended up going to the law enforcement to make a report last Monday. I'll likely end up going back if this person keeps contacting me like they have been. I'll give a little timeline. Last Saturday, haircut and discovered the weird tub full of my hair, texted the stylist about the weird tub, and said I'd be finding a new stylist. Hairstylist didn't respond. This is where I left off on the last post. A lot has happened since then. Sunday, I woke up to a bunch of texts from the stylist. It woke me up because even though I have D&D on my phone, I have a setting that overrides that if it's a repeated contact attempt over 3 in case of emergencies. Here's what I got. This is copy and pasted. 3:49 a.m. I don't recommend going to a different stylist because of this. It's not a big deal. Small towns and people talk, and you may not find anyone that will take you after this, so I'd reconsider. I don't like threats. 3:51 a.m. So I have your biological material and it's mine now. I can do with it what I want. I kept it because I can, and it means a lot to me. 3:54 a.m. Why did you send the pic? I know what it looks like. It's mine.
Oh my God.
4 a.m. You need to respond to me because I think it's a misunderstanding about what this is, and it's not a big deal, and you're saying you're switching stylists, and it has me triggered. I do good work. You said so. 4:04 a.m. I also charge a $350 client separation fee. So yeah, you can't just say you're switching stylists without consequences. And I know you said you already tried a few people before me. There may not be many beauty people in the area. 4:11 a.m. Asking for an explanation for a stylist having your hair in a salon is crazy. Where else would you find hair? I didn't do anything wrong, but I will get rid of it if you're going to cry about it. But only if you say you won't be switching to anyone else for your hair care. You mean a lot as a client and always tip well, and I do good work, so it doesn't make sense, and you know that. So maybe don't threaten someone who does your hair or hurt their heart by making accusatory statements.
Oh my God.
I didn't respond to any of those that morning because it was so insane to me. I needed to process things fully before I make a decision on how to deal with it, so I just didn't respond. Sunday afternoon, I started getting phone calls. This person called me 14 times that afternoon. About every other call, they left a voicemail. Most of the voicemails just said, call me back or text me back, but 2 of them were unhinged. I'm going to paraphrase, but the gist of the first one was, it sounds like they're crying. Call me back, I'm getting scared you won't come back to me for your hair for real. I just like how your hair feels. That's why I kept it. Call me. The second unhinged message was left late Sunday night at 11:38 p.m. and it said, I got rid of it except for one lock. I found out that I like watching your hair burn more than I liked keeping it. I didn't respond to any of those messages, calls, or texts. The whole thing had me freaked out now. I decided by that time I was taking Monday off work to go to the police. Even if they couldn't do anything, I wanted to file a report for the weirdness. I woke up on Monday to an email from the stylist with an invoice for $375 for a client breach of contract fee and the chargeable line item, again, copy and pasting here. The email body was just for being a bitch.
Oh my God.
It was sent from their business email too, so they're really doing everything they can to ruin themselves. Even if I had a contract with this nutter, which I don't, the original amount was for $350. They can't even get their extortion fees right. I did email them back stating that we had no contract and to cease all further communication with me from this point going forward. I got ready and started heading to the police station around 9:45 Monday morning. I live in a rural area, so there are portions of my drive to and from our main town that doesn't have cell reception. When I finally got to town, I had 4 voicemails. I knew immediately who they were from. I talked to one of the officers on staff. They took my statement, a copy of the email, asked me to forward all the texts and screenshots of the numbers of calls. They said at least the calls and texts could be considered menacing and harassment, but the voicemail where they mentioned how they liked burning my hair was potentially concerning. The officer advised I contact a legal representative in case this person tries to take the bogus invoice to a civil suit court. And they said I'm welcome to change my number, but having the piling evidence if they continue to contact me after I explicitly told them not to in the email would only help me. I reached out to a lawyer Tuesday and left a detailed message regarding the situation. They are apparently out of office until next Wednesday for the holidays, so we'll see if they have any advice. I've since received many texts and calls from the stylist. They sent a happy Thanksgiving text on Thursday morning as well. Regardless, they are giving me a lot of evidentiary material to work with, but I'm so unsettled. I can't wait to hear from the lawyer this week. Okay, so here's a mini update from December 8th. I woke up to new comments and requests for updates. Firstly, I am okay and safe for now. The person has continued to contact me on a regular basis via phone and email. I do have personal protection that I'm comfortable with and can wield with accuracy. But I'm nearly certain this person does not know where I live, so I don't anticipate any type of confrontation here. Our house and property has complete camera coverage as well. If anyone or anything shows up, we're well aware. I will be posting a more in-depth update with more texts and emails up to this point and regarding a specific incident that happened on Friday, on Tuesday. I have an appointment to speak with another officer, then to discuss the potential of criminal action and legal consequences from the stylist as a result. Thank you all for your concern, and this is absolutely insane. I'll leave you with a text from this past week, one I think you'll all enjoy or question or use for a model on how not to make friends. Once again, copied and pasted. 5:12 a.m., December 4th, 2024. Don't never say never. You're never coming back. Don't make me laugh. I don't want your ass back. You can beg me, though. It might help.
Oh my God. Oh my god. When you talked about, like, I just like the way your hair feels. It's like, if Shauna Shipman was your stylist. Oh my god.
There is another update too. Okay, do you want the next update?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the last update. I didn't expect the crazy amount of people following this. Here's the long-awaited post. I met with law enforcement again this past Tuesday. My husband and I drove over early that morning because I was also meeting up with the lawyer I'm working with. Aside from the near constant texts, calls, and emails, I wanted to pursue legal action for a specific issue. Allegedly, the style had tried to have my credit card canceled. Apparently, they used the last 4 digits of my card, called the customer service line for the card, and tried to cancel it. I got a call from the fraud department shortly after this person attempted to do this, trying to verify everything to see if I actually wanted to close my account and dissolve my credit line with them. To be clear, the stylist was not successful with their alleged attempt. They couldn't provide the basic information you need for such things like my actual last name. It's unusual, and they gave a name that was almost similar, date of birth, address, etc. Apparently, they thought they could accomplish this with just my name, phone number, and the last 4 digits of my card. I didn't cancel the card, but did request a new one for obvious reasons. I had no clue why they would want to cancel my card. To inconvenience me? Yep, that's exactly why. Allegedly. When I spoke with the credit card company, they agreed to send over the recording of the person that called as well as the phone number the call originated from, as long as the request came from a law enforcement with a warrant. They gave me a phone number and a reference number for the police to reach out directly. The officer began working on that immediately, so that's in progress. I went to my phone company over the weekend. I had my phone number transferred to an old phone so I could still receive calls and texts there, but got a new phone number for my actual phone. The old phone and phone number has been turned over to the officer assigned to my case. They did go and speak with the person yesterday. Apparently, they're horrified I went to the police and had no idea any of their crazy could be a chargeable offense. A temporary protection and no contact order has been issued against them until our first court date. I have also reached out to the State Board of Licensing with all this information and my complaints. All I can say is they are investigating. Outside of that information, I'm limited to any other information I can share since a legal process has officially begun. We're just waiting to see how this all plays out. It's been a long few weeks. I'm hoping for the best here. I'm already relieved to no longer be getting calls, texts, or emails constantly. Thank you for all the concern and advice and good wishes.
That's insane. Okay, I don't know. This is not an appropriate question. I'm so curious as to, like, what their hair is like. Where someone is just like, I need to. I just imagine, like, yeah, just, like, in there with the hair fibers, like,
sniffing it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's like Charlie's Angels. Do you remember that scene?
It is, yeah. Okay,
oh my god,
isn't it weird? No, we talked about it.
Yeah.
It was, like, freaky, but,
so
like,
I took it to my penthouse and I freaked it.
I was like, he's just passionate. But
he just
this
really
is
likes her hair.
And different.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely certifiably insane behavior.
Yep.
I absolutely, every single time that I read it, every time that I hear it, the invoice for being a bitch is probably the funniest fucking thing. I know this lady is so unhinged.
She is crashing out.
I'm going to start doing that, though.
Invoicing people for being bitches.
Yes, if anyone's ever mean to me, I'm going to email them an invoice that says for being a bitch. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
No
financial
argument.
Compensation for the emotional damages of you being a bitch.
Yeah, I like that she bumped the price up to $375, though. She was like, you're making me write this email, so $375 now.
She sat down, took the time to write a whole invoice.
She
send
put
it.
That shit in a template.
Attach it. Send it.
For being a bitch.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
Well, and then, like, I don't know. Allie, let me know. At a salon, do you, like, write invoices like that? I guess maybe for, like, your dues but you should be getting charged for that. So.
Yeah. I've never.
Do you have an invoice on hand that you plug this into, or did you, like, look up a template for invoices?
Absolutely. It was a template because I worked at a salon that had a bunch of different suites. So it was like hairstylist, nail techs, massage, like all sorts of different types of care stuff. And all of them, to pay for their suite, would write a check or put cash in an envelope.
That's what I imagine it would be, not...
Not, and even then it would be, you wouldn't be
invoicing
giving
someone
an invoice. Yeah. No, that is so strange. I've never heard of a person signing a contract. The day that somebody asked me to sign a contract to do my hair.
No, the amount of contracts I have broken, apparently, if this is true.
Yeah, I have hairstylists that I've never spoken to again in my life. I've been like, you're the best hairstylist ever. Have I talked to them? No. And now I cut my own hair.
Yeah, no,
You can't tell.
I have terrible experiences with hairstylists.
Yeah, so they always make me cry, and I don't want to blame somebody for not seeing my vision in my head. You know? I try to explain it the best way I can, but there's only so much I can do. I can't.
Yeah.
You know?
I will say I had one hairstylist that I was completely obsessed with, Nina. Best ever. Nina. A lot of the other people I went to, it's like, how did I walk out and my hair is worse? Like, it's worse than when I walked in here. What did you do to me? In 6th grade, this is where it all started. I had begged my mom for highlights for forever, and she finally let me do it. And I had, like, mid-back length curly hair, super long curly hair. And I wanted, like, a chocolate brown highlight. Something, you know, a little subtle. Yeah. But it's still highlighted, you know. She gave me blonde highlights, and she chopped my hair to my shoulders.
Oh.
And then she paraded me around the salon and was like, isn't this so cute? And as a child, I could not speak up for myself at all. And I also didn't want my mom to know that I hate it because she just paid for it. So I'm just like trying not to cry, being paraded around. She's like, isn't this so cute? And I was like, you ruined me. I've deleted every photo of me that exists from that time period. It was so bad.
That's fair. I also had a similar experience when I was in the 4th grade. I had very long hair. And I think it was my stepmom. I honestly don't remember who took me. It's a very traumatic moment. So I'll probably block that out. But I had very long hair, cut it to here. And I have like wavy hair, so it looked really weird.
Yeah.
And I went to school the next day and I sat down, and I'll never fucking forget this. And I'll tell you something, and I'll cut it out after this.
Yeah.
But this bitch sat down across from me and was like, excuse me, somebody else is supposed to sit there.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what? And they were like, there's a girl that sits here. And I was like,
she calls you a boy.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
And so that made me crash out. I've cut it short a couple times, and every single time I hate it.
Yeah.
But I cut my hair into a mullet like 3 years ago.
Short mullet?
Super short mullet.
Yeah.
Like super, I'll show you a picture. Super short. And I hated my hair for a year and a half.
Yeah.
I just recently started liking my hair again. So
your hair's gotten really long. I cut my hair into a French bob during COVID. And it was really cute when it was styled, but when it wasn't, I looked absolutely insane, especially when I like would blow it out with a blow dryer. It was a perfect like triangle around my head. I looked absolutely insane.
That's really cute. I love that. Everybody was cutting their hair during COVID, though. I did the same thing. I cut my hair short during COVID, too.
Nina was the one that cut it for me. She's like, Nina, you sure? We've, like, worked so hard on getting... She's like, your hair is long and it's so healthy right now. And, like, are you sure? And I was like, cut it off, Nina. In retrospect, Nina was right. Nina. But it's okay. I miss her.
Yeah, but
it doesn't make sense to drive 4 hours to see her. Anyway.
This hairstylist is absolutely fucking unhinged.
It's nuts.
That is so crazy. I cannot imagine crashing out over a client like that.
They're like weirdly obsessed with you. They have to be. Because like
100%. What are they doing with all that? Why is it mixed with potpourri, first of all? Like, what is that? Because it's only messing with the natural hair smell. So she can't go and like... smell the natural hair now. It smells like potpourri.
Yeah.
And sand.
Does it smell nicer when she burns it? If it's been soaked in potpourri? I don't know, man.
Hair burning smells awful.
It smells really bad.
I had this friend when I was in the weird stage of my life who would sit and chain smoke cigarettes and burn all his leg hair off like at the same time.
Okay.
Your guess is
Qua.
as good. It's mine, man. Same reason that this lady's keeping a bag of hair.
There was a professor at the college that I went to that kept her hair. It was her hair from her haircuts, and she used it in her art projects.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Yeah, that's different because it's her own hair.
I have a bag of my hair from when I cut it into a mullet.
Yeah.
Because my hair was about as long as it is now. And it was like the longest it's been in a very long time. Mm-hmm. And then I just cut it all off. So I kept a bag of my, like, this lock that came off. So I have a bag of it. It's black and orange hair.
That used to be more of a thing of like, giving someone like a lock of your hair.
I want to go back to locks of hair and a locket.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want someone to love me enough to put... Quentin.
Hey, buddy.
To put a little lock of hair into a little necklace and let me wear it around on my neck.
Nosferatu.
Yep. That's what I need.
Yep.
I have tried to convince Quentin to give me like a little vial of his blood.
Yeah.
Because I would enjoy that. And they make, for all of you that thinks it's fucking weird, fuck you.
Fuck you. Next question.
Moving on. They have little jars that have like a coagulant in it. So you prick your finger and you put a couple drops of blood into the vial and it coagulates. So it makes like a little vial. Mm-hmm. It's not liquid, so it's not going to pour out. Yeah. But it has the blood in it.
You know what this moment reminds me of? Did you ever watch the Megan Fox Call Her Daddy?
Yes, where she talked about...
she's like, why is it so weird that me and my, at the time, soulmate do blood stuff, but you just, like, let random guys come in your mouth? Yeah. Like, who's grosser? Who's grosser? And I was like, you know what, Meg? You have a point.
You have a fucking point. And that's the thing. Who's to say one bodily fluid is worse than
I need you to watch Sinners. If you've seen Sinners, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the body fluids. Because there's, like, a few people who are just like, oh, and then... But then there's, like, the book talk girlies who are just like, oh... And I need you to watch it so you'll know exactly the scene I'm talking. You'll know. You'll know when you see it. There's a few lines in that movie where I'm just like, Haley Steinfeld. Oh my god. I love Michael B. Jordan. Anyway, wow, that was so crazy.
No, that's a fucking unhinged story. I literally, the crash out is insane. I wouldn't even leave voice messages like that for anyone.
I don't think I ever have.
No.
Don't let me know if I have.
No,
because if I have, I was not sober, so don't.
I have definitely like left the voicemails of like, I don't even want you anyway. You're disgusting and you're a piece of shit. And then the next voice says, please take me back. I know you don't want me to.
Have I? It's possible. Do I remember doing it? Absolutely not. So it doesn't count. And that's not my problem. It's not my problem what I did. At
Past
that
you?
Yeah. That was a different person.
Taking accountability?
I don't know her.
No. Who's that? Who's that?
I have never seen that man a day in my life.
I'm gonna send you a fucking invoice for being accountable, bitch.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Okay.
If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here.
And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy.
Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?